Charlottesville, Virginia is a college town just about an hour from Richmond. We're told protesters will gather there again this weekend in support of the symbols of the Confederacy. In early July, Charlottesville found itself at the center of a rally by the KKK, a rally met by counter-protests. 50 members of the Loyal White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan assembled at the park under the statue of Robert E. Lee. 200 times that number, more than 1,000 people, turned out in opposition to the Klan, including 23 people who were arrested when they refused police orders to disperse. Charlottesville Mayor Michael Signer talked to me about the leadership challenges presented by the issue. Nice to talk to you. I was surprised to read that your reaction would be keep the statues. Often when the KKK comes to protest over statues, the sitting mayor will say, let's take the statues out. Why was this your position, sir?
There was a protest that began to kick this off that was about one of these statues, one to Robert E. Lee. And my instinct at the very outset was that we needed to cast the problem more broadly and talk about race in our public spaces. We created a Blue Ribbon Commission that was charged with changing the narrative in Charlottesville by telling the full story of race through our public spaces. Incredibly difficult thing to do. We've got dozens of landmarks that touch on race in one way or another, including things that we needed to do that we hadn't been doing. There were 17 public hearings held by this 9-member commission, which at the outset was majority African American. On the statue issue, they surprised a lot of people by recommending that no matter what, that we keep these statues within the city limits of Charlottesville. One of the parts of the report said numerous African Americans who came and testified to the committee said that they didn't want the past kind of expunged or removed precisely so that we could learn from it. And that's a counterintuitive answer to a lot of people, but the idea was they wanted to create kind of a dynamic conversation, a conflict between new history and old history. So you would rebut and overcome what is in our spaces while still letting it stay. And I ended up siding with that recommendation, which was to add more history and do what's called transform in place.
The challenge, I guess, for many people is, a monument isn't just, hey, this history exists. The monument, it's exalting, essentially, white supremacy and people who were trying to overthrow the U.S. government at a time as heroes full of valor and people to mourn their loss.
It's not a problem where there's a simple yes or no, toggle up or down, single rifle shot answer. We ended up adopting a whole set of different kind of takes on the problem you said. Like, for instance, we renamed the parks recently, which was a big deal. The Lee Park now is named Emancipation Park. The park with the Stonewall Jackson statue is now named Justice Park. So one of the ideas is that we could, with the Robert E. Lee statue, we could have a memorial there that will celebrate current civil rights victories and be an active repudiation of what that statue stood for. And then in front of around the Stonewall Jackson statue, we could have a lamentation of slavery. That was where the Freedmen's Bureau was. Right now, there's a plaque where the slave auction block was that is a very small plaque that is in the sidewalk. We need an adequate memorialization of that horrible experience in our history. So you would have a celebration of current civil rights victories, a lamentation of the legacy of slavery, and together they would present a modern-day refutation of this decision in the 1920s to put these statues there while still keeping our history there and adding more history, which is the approach that I favor, but it has been a topic of very difficult debate here. The difficult things today are where leadership counts and where a thoughtful, fair approach that tries to come to an answer on these incredibly difficult questions is necessary. And so in a way, it's been a gift to the city to have this hugely difficult problem thrust on us.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks.